From an eel that can produce 400 times their volume in slime to a fish with human teeth, here are some really weird animals from around the world. Our planet is mind-bogglingly diverse. Different environmental conditions give rise to different characteristics in weird animals of all shapes and sizes. Some evolve for the dark, gloomy depths of the oceans, while others eke out an existence in dry, seemingly inhospitable deserts. Others look seemingly normal until something triggers their weirdness to come out, a bit like humans, right? Many of nature's weirdest creations hail from the ocean, where complete darkness, sediment-rich waters, high-pressure environments, and near-freezing waters have each led to unique adaptations in some of the most bizarre-looking creatures. Scientists estimate there are anywhere between a few 100,000 to over 10 million new species waiting to be discovered in the depths of our oceans. But there are plenty of oddities on land too. Here are some of the weirdest animals on the planet. Siphonophore. Meet the longest animal in the world, the Siphonophore. Yes, it's even longer than the blue whale. At 45 meters, or 150 feet, the blue whale, with a maximum confirmed length of just under 30 meters, or 98 feet, is a mere baby in comparison. This specimen, which was seen arranged in a feeding spiral, was encountered in 2020 as part of Schmidt Ocean Institute's deep-sea expedition. But be warned, it's a relative of the Portuguese man-o'-war and is trailing deadly, stinging tentacles through the water. Think of it a bit like a wall of death, albeit a very different type to the Butlins ride with the same name. Muntjac deer use scent to communicate and can breed all year round. Often referred to as the barking deer, the Muntjac deer is a small, stocky mammal with fabulous glands. Native to parts of Southeast Asia, but now common in the British countryside, these deer have adapted well to various habitats and are often found in woodland areas. Their petite size, robust build, and impressive jumping ability allow them to navigate dense vegetation, but it's their inflating facial glands that have captured the attention of the public. These glands can open so wide that they can actually turn inside out. Hoatzin are also called stinkbirds due to their foul odor, which is caused by the fermentation of food in their digestive system. Surely the Hoatzin is one of the weirdest Amazonian birds. As babies, the chicks have claws on their wings which they use to climb trees. Adults ferment vegetation much like a cow, albeit in a specialized crop. It gives them a manure-like odor, hence their nickname, the stinkbird. These short-tailed monkeys are intelligent and generally peaceful. No, they haven't been washing with beetroot, but the healthiest males do have the reddest faces. Females seem to know this and choose their mates based on how red the male's face is. Who says beauty isn't skin deep? The hagfish can make enough slime equal to 400 times their own volume. This awesome slime ball can spew out thick, sticky goo that will clog up the gills of any predator that dares dine on it. The hagfish is a type of agnathan, a jawless fish with an eel-like body. But if you've seen this slimy surprise doing the rounds on social media, you'll know that it produces copious amounts of thick slime as a defense mechanism when threatened, allowing it to escape predators. Hagfish are ancient. They evolved around 500 million years ago, so these slimy scavengers are clearly doing something right. This shiny jewel wasp turns cockroaches into zombies. This bedazzling wasp will happily take on creatures much larger than itself. In the picture above, it's eyeing up a cockroach. For this reason, it's also known as the emerald cockroach wasp. After injecting the brains of their prey with a stupefying venom, they bury it alive and lay their eggs in the grave with the now zombie prey. The larvae will then feed on the creature until they are fully grown. Last of Us, eat your heart out, literally. So, the Amazon pink river dolphin actually has the largest bodies and brains of any freshwater dolphin. This freshwater cetacean, it's the largest species of river dolphin out there. Interestingly, they're born gray, and then, as they age, they acquire that famous pink color. The final hue, well, it's influenced by quite a few things, including their behavior, what they eat, and even how close their capillaries are to the skin. Blobfish, unlike most fish, have loose, flabby skin instead of scales. They're pretty renowned for their gelatinous, droopy appearance. and the blobfish has really adapted to the extreme pressures of the deep ocean. Its peculiar visage has earned it the title of world's ugliest animal. Although that's perhaps a little unfair since that name actually came about because of how it looks outside of its natural habitat. But despite its seemingly unusual form, the blobfish is honestly a fascinating example of how weird animals can thrive in all sorts of diverse and challenging environments. The ghost shark has this retractable, penis-like appendage on its head, which is, well, pretty unique. When a newly hatched baby ghost shark was found by scientists off the coast of New Zealand's South Island in February 2022, it quickly went viral for its bizarre looks. More formally known as chimeras, these elusive creatures are rarely sighted and very little is known about them. Even less is known about their young, and they were only discovered for the first time in 2002. These deep-sea denizens live at depths of between 400 and 6,600 feet, where water temperatures are, near freezing. Their dead eyes and large wing-like fins, a characteristic that seems better suited to flying, gives rise to their ghoulish name. Despite the name, ghost sharks aren't actually part of the shark family. Instead, they're a species of fish and have a skeleton made from cartilage, not bone. Having a low-density skeleton, like cartilage, is crucial for life at depth, since it won't collapse under increased pressure. That said, they do lay egg capsules, also known as mermaid purses, on the seafloor, just like sharks do. The egg capsule protects the embryo as it develops, where they feed off a yolk until they're ready to hatch. Nope, not a penis. Despite the name, this phallic-looking creature is neither a snake nor a penis. This weird animal is actually a type of caecilian, a limbless amphibian that bears more than a passing resemblance to a certain part of the male anatomy. So naturally, this creature also goes by names such as the Manaconda or floppy snake. Its Latin designation is Atratocawana izelti. Little is known about the species, and from its discovery in the late 1800s to its rediscovery in 2011 from the same region, there were only 2 preserved specimens. It's the second largest lungless tetrapod, breathing instead through its skin, and is the largest known caecilian, growing up to 81 centimeters in length. It is thought they can live between 5 to 10 years. Unlike most caecilians, which are burrowers, most scientists agree that the penis snake is actually aquatic, like other lungless tetrapods. It has poor eyesight. Their eyes are barely visible under the skin, but has a keen sense of smell which it uses to navigate. This combination is ideal given they tend to live in Amazonian rivers where visibility is poor. The sea pig, or Scotoplanes globose, is a species of sea cucumber named after its round body and pink coloring, and is certainly one of the weirdest animals. These bloated, water-filled sausages can grow up to 15 centimeters in length and are found in all of the world's oceans. There's a lot of them, too. When there's a tasty meal to be had, for example, a whale corpse that has sunk to the seafloor, sea pigs will gather in their hundreds to take advantage of the feast using a ring of feeding tentacles to shovel food into their mouths. Just like a real pig, they'll eat almost anything. Like the blobfish, these deep-sea vacuum cleaners have evolved for life at depth, specifically on the abyssal plain in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. The weird animals pump water around their bodies to keep themselves inflated, and bringing them too close to the surface causes them to shrivel up and die. Sea pigs have a pretty effective defense too. Toxic chemicals in their skin deter predators from wanting to chow down on this forbidden sea bacon. But this doesn't seem to bother another inhabitant of the seafloor, juvenile king crabs. In fact, they may use this toxic trait to their advantage. On the flat, muddy plains of the seafloor where it's difficult to burrow and hide from predators, the baby king crabs hitch a ride on wandering sea pigs. Clinging to the sea pig's belly, the vulnerable baby king crabs are safe from predators while they shed their shell to grow. So, the pink fairy armadillo should not be kept as a pet, since they die pretty quickly from stress. This little creature is kind of like a fuzzy caterpillar crossed with a lobster. It's actually the smallest species of armadillo, and at around 13 centimeters in length, it's small enough to fit right in your hand. Living in the sandy plains and dry scrublands of South America, it's also known as the sand swimmer, thanks to its ability to quickly navigate the subterranean sands. Their unique pink color comes from blood being pumped into their shell for thermoregulation, which helps them maintain a steady core temperature in the hot, arid climate. The Great Potoo will sit perfectly still, mimicking a tree stump while it waits for its prey. As a master of camouflage, the Great Potoo is a carnivorous bird that lives mostly in tropical America. By remaining completely still, the Great Potoo blends in with its surroundings by mimicking a tree stump or branch, patiently waiting for unsuspecting prey. And it doesn't even give itself away by opening its eyes. Thanks to tiny openings below their eyelids, this nocturnal bird can actually see even when its eyes are closed, helping them spot even the most minute amount of movement. The star-nosed mole has 25,000 sensory receptors on the fleshy tentacles around its nose. Geologists of the animal kingdom, the star-nosed mole can detect seismic waves with those 25,000 sensory receptors that make up the fleshy tentacles around its nose. As the only mole to live in swamps and marshes, this weird animal may also be able to detect faint electrical signals from aquatic prey. It can also smell underwater by blowing air bubbles and sucking them back into its nose. One of only 2 species that can do this, the other being the water shrew. It also wins the prize for one of the fastest eaters in the world, taking less than a quarter of a second to slurp down a meal. Gulp. The pacu is a freshwater fish that has human-like teeth. Have you ever seen a fish with human teeth? Often mistaken for a piranha, these weird animals are omnivores, eating both plants and meat. The pacu's square, straight teeth are used mainly to crush nuts and fruits that drop down into Amazonian rivers and streams from the trees above. But swimmers, beware. These nut-crunching fish have also been rumored to mistake human testicles for their favorite snacks, earning them the nickname testicle-eating fish or ball-cutter fish. Ouch. Just look at those eyes. With each eye as big as its brain, the tarsier has the largest eyes in relation to the body size of any mammal. But with such huge eyes, they can't move them like we can. Instead, they swivel their whole head 180 degrees like an owl. This helps them silently look for prey, and they're the only completely carnivorous primate, no plants at all. And, you know, this strategy has proved successful. These weird animals are some of the oldest living primates on the planet, dating back at least 55 million years. This potentially dates them to the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum, a time when Earth experienced a sudden and extreme warming, widely linked to the rise of mammals on Earth. Here we have a bird-dropping spider just sitting quietly on a leaf. Now, no, this isn't a spider that drops birds. It's actually a spider that looks like a bird dropping. By huddling on a leaf during the day, the bird-dropping spider uses mimicry to its full advantage, fooling would-be predators into thinking they're just looking at a fresh pile of poop. But you know, the deception doesn't end there. At night, this crafty critter stretches out its forelegs and releases a pheromone that lures in unfortunate male moths who are searching for a mate. Thinking they might be getting lucky, the moth is instead grabbed, providing a tasty meal for this weird animal. The wingless female thistledown velvet ant, believe it or not, packs a powerful sting. Despite what the name suggests, this fuzzy little creature is actually a type of wasp. Their flamboyant, fluffy exterior helps disguise these creatures as fallen creosote fruits, which totally fools would-be predators. Some scientists, looking at the fossil record, have even hypothesized that the white bristles evolved independently as a way to reflect the intense desert heat. The red-lipped batfish is, honestly, one weird animal. Pucker up. Endemic to the Galapagos Islands, the red-lipped batfish waddles along the seafloor using its modified fins as legs, looking like it's ready for a night out on the town. Like many other weird animals, this adaptation may help the males attract a mate, although yeah, more research is still needed. The barrel-eye fish looks upwards through the top of its head. Looking more like a marine submersible than a fish, the Pacific barrel-eye fish, also known as spookfish, has ultra-sensitive eyes that are, no surprises here, shaped like a barrel tubular structures that are generally directed upwards. Looking upwards in this way allows this weird animal to see through the top of its head to detect the silhouettes of overhead prey. The Japanese spider crab can grow to be over twice the size of a human. There are around 60,000 species of crustaceans, and of these the Japanese spider crab is the largest. With a whopping 3.7 meter or 12 feet leg span, they are considerably larger than a human. But despite their large size, they start life as microscopic planktonic larvae, one of millions that the mother lays. These weird animals are mostly found off the coast of Honshu, a Japanese island.